So a little while, I was watching one of my favorite streamers, and they mentioned that there was no way that they could ever DM for various reasons. And that got me thinking, why do people have this mentality about DMing? It also got me thinking that you should check us out every Tuesday where we stream Final Fantasy XIV on Twitch. After pondering this for a while, and after being a DM for almost 2 years, I had some thoughts on this topic that I thought would probably be a good topic for a video. Let's get into it. Alright, let's run it back a bit and get some needed context for this video. DM is short for Dungeon Master in the context of this video. The job of the DM is to facilitate the game and keep it moving for the players at the table. And to do that effectively, they have to have at least a basic understanding of how the rules work. This is actually a good place to stop because I think it's one of the biggest hang-ups for new DMs. Me included. Let's get two things out of the way first. Number one, you are not going to have every rule memorized, and you do not need to have every rule memorized. There's a lot of them, trust me, and they get intricate and complicated. It's okay if you don't memorize them. And number two, you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to give bad rulings, and you're going to give wrong rulings. And that's okay. In fact, sometimes it can actually make the game more fun. The rules of D&D are occasionally meant to be taken with a grain of salt, and you as the DM are well within your right to change something if you think it'll make the game more fun for your players. Key phrase here being, more fun for your players. The rules are there to help and to give you guidance and order, but Wizards of the Coast is not going to bust down your door if you get a ruling wrong. At least I hope not. They haven't yet, so I think we're safe.
Psst. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Are you listening?
Well, then start listening!
Even the best DMs make up their own rules.
How dastardly. A good example of this is actually Matthew Mercer, the golden standard of DMing. For most people. When his players roll for hit points, they actually are allowed to re-roll ones. Meaning the lowest that his players can roll for hit points is a 2. Why would he do that? That's not in the rulebook. You're right. It's not. He does it because it makes the game more fun for his players. And this is a good segue into the other job of the DM, making the game fun. Although some people think that this can be just as scary as knowing all the rules, I believe this is actually the easier one of the two to master. Making the game fun just involves you getting to know your players and what they do and what they don't like. If your players are having fun, they're not going to care that you messed up a ruling, or that you changed something, or that you adjusted something. They're having fun. You've done your job at that point. Now, I can give you examples from my games, from Matt Colville, and the DM Layer, both channels that you should definitely watch and check out if you're interested in DMing. But ultimately, only you are going to know what makes the game fun for your players. What makes the game fun for your players is not going to be the same thing for my game. And what makes my players have fun is not going to make your players have fun. It could, but if you don't know what your players do or don't like, ask them. Trust me, players love that question. What do you like and what do you want to see? Those are some of the best questions that you can ask players because they are happy to tell you most of the time. The more times you ask that question and the more often you bring it up to your group, the more excited they'll be to play and the more fun that everyone's going to have at the table. To sum up, if you're watching this video, then you're probably someone that wants to DM, but is terrified of the responsibility and the pressure that comes along with being the lord and master of this fantasy world that you've concocted, or borrowed. However, if you take anything away from me rambling, remember this. You are just as worthy of being a great DM as anybody on Twitch, on YouTube, or anywhere else. There's no secret club, there's no secret certification, and you shouldn't let anybody tell you that you don't deserve or you can't handle being a DM. This is something that everybody has the right to do, and nobody has the right to stop anybody. The ultimate truth is, at some point you're going to fail, and you're going to make mistakes. But that's okay. And you just gotta remember good old Cornelius Robinson and keep moving forward. See you guys next time.
Well, that depends on you. Nothing is set in stone. You got to make the right choices and keep moving forward.